real justice. This is a question that I know probably might take a while to answer, and hopefully we might be able to come back one day. But true justice and achieving real justice in the eyes of, I guess, man that is flawed in the first place. What have you discovered or noticed that is real justice, true justice, not something, and is real justice actually possible?
Yeah. Yes and no. So I'll give an example of a case that I'm working on right now. There was a young woman in Louisville, Kentucky named Breonna Taylor who was shot and killed by police in her home. She broke no law. She committed no crime. Police never should have even been in her home. She should not have been shot. She didn't even deserve a day in jail. She didn't deserve anything. And sometimes we say, hey, we are fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor. And we say these phrases, we're fighting for justice for Breonna Taylor, but Breonna Taylor is dead. And I'm religious and her family is religious. We believe in heaven. We believe that she's there, but there is really no justice for her on earth. I don't say that to say then, well, we shouldn't fight. What we're really fighting for, see, justice is the balancing of what was wrong. So something horribly wrong happened, and now we want to balance that out. Well, for Breonna's family, and I know her mother, Tamika, and her sisters, and her partner, Kenny, you can't balance that. She has been killed and is buried, and she will never have another living day on this earth. So there's no way to make that right. What we're actually looking for isn't really justice. What we're looking for is accountability. And justice and accountability may seem like the same thing, but they're not. What we're saying is what happened to her was wrong, and the people who did that wrong need to be held accountable. And we try to figure out, well, what does that accountability look like? But even I have worked with families, and the police who killed their loved one was held accountable. And what I realize is it still doesn't balance the scale. And so what I have found is more likely a form of justice would be changing the systems that cause and allow these things to happen to prevent them from happening in the first place. And justice would be this not happening anymore. And there's a form of justice that happened in Louisville. The city passed a law preventing police in Louisville, just in this one city, from barging into people's homes. They're not allowed to do that anymore. And had that been a law before Breonna was killed, she would still be here today, and me and you wouldn't even know who she is. She would just be an everyday woman living her life, doing what she does. She wouldn't be famous. She wouldn't have pictures of her face all over the world, and that would be better. And, a form of justice is preventing these things from happening. So that can't happen for Breonna, but it can happen for people that whose lives we can keep from being lost in the first place. So justice is it's a lofty goal. It is accountability, but it looks like changing the system. And that's a whole lot harder than just holding these officers accountable.